Inequality is essential.
For I am today cutting the main rate of corporation tax again.
This tax cut is going to cost about £7 billion. That's going to be paid for by cuts, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, there will be cuts.
A record number of children from working families in the UK aren't living in.
Now a record 151 billionaires in the country.
I'm an exuberant defender of the banks.
The Royal Bank of Scotland has announced another loss, £1.9 billion. The taxpayer-rescued bank will still pay nearly £1 billion in bankers' bonuses.
Can you think of anybody who stuck up for the bankers as much as I did?
Here's your bonus this year.
I did alright. Only one Maserati.
The best hope of social mobility is an open and flexible labour market.
The billionaire boss of Sports Direct, one of Britain's richest men. Staff are on 0 hours contracts and too scared even to take sick leave for fear of losing their job.
Philip Green's family has taken about £1.5 billion in dividends.
So Philip, people want to know why you're on holiday when they think that you're supposed to be sorting out the pension deficit.
Will you go away?
We're all in this together.
Hi, I'm Magnum Phoenix. I'm a performing arts lecturer and a specialist in devising contemporary theatre. My highest qualification so far is a Master's from Royal Holloway, University of London, and I plan to go on to study a PhD in the next few years. Additionally, I have 2 years of mentoring experience and I've worked with young people in a variety of performance-related settings. During the time of this research, I was a trainee lecturer at Bedford College, working with Level 2 and Level 3 learners. I was also working at Bedford Sixth Form teaching AS level students, and I was also working at the University of Bedfordshire teaching second year students. If you hadn't guessed, I work in Bedford. I'll be honest, my childhood wasn't a privileged one. I was raised in the West Midlands in a poverty-stricken town where employment was discouraged and tagging a wall with your postcode was high aspirations. Over time, and as the government changed, I watched how my little town got worse and worse. Crime soared, shops closed, and the town became almost derelict as the once bustling market was reduced to next to nothing. The library and community centre closed, the youth club closed, which left nothing for the young people in the area to do. So, like other teenagers, they took to the streets, hanging around and became hoodlums, which only worsened the area's reputation. But this isn't for sympathy. My town was not the only one affected by cruel Tory cuts. Yes, I said cuts. Another was my subject area. It's no secret that the current government undervalues the arts and this country's youth population. Due to funding cuts and perception, fewer students are taking up arts, drama and dance. As schools and colleges struggle with underfunding and begin closing early in an effort to save money, few institutions can afford the extra cost of running extracurricular activities, especially further education colleges where funding is especially tight. The great thing about extracurricular activities in schools and colleges is that they don't have to obey the curriculum. They could be run by professionals outside of the institution who can offer opportunities both academically and socially, as well as provide career opportunities. They don't need to worry about Ofsted or test scores, and they can work more intensely with individuals than a teacher could in a class of 30. In a 2005 study by Jennifer Fredericks and Jacqueline Eccles, they deduced that scholars and youth policy advocates argue that participation in extracurricular activities are a productive use of this leisure time and can provide distinct opportunities for growth and development. And so, with everything in mind, I put together the plan for my study. What are the benefits of extracurricular activities for post-16 performing arts students. It would be an hourly, twice-a-week programme for self-selected post-16 students running for 6 weeks, and it would build essential devising skills. My programme would be run in a way similar to that of theatre companies. There wouldn't be learning objectives, there wouldn't be constant formative assessment, the students wouldn't be babied, they would be given independence and be forced to take charge of their own development. I believe that anyone that wants to work in this industry has to be able to do more than just act or dance or sing. Jobs in our field have always been highly competitive, but even more so these days with the lack of programs that are running, the lack of funding, and far more competition both at home and from overseas. Performers who are able to create their own material and showcase it can still earn money and stay in touch with their practice. Plus, you don't have to go to auditions every week. So to get information on my program, I took a multi-directional approach. First of all participants were given a logbook that they would fill out during and after sessions with me. I also conducted an ipsative assessment which ran on the first session and in the last session. This assessment would test their devising ability. It was in the same conditions both times, and they were given 30 minutes to create a solo piece of work. When watching their work, I considered the performativity, the potential, and the techniques that they were using. Additionally, over the course of the program, learners filled out self-assessment forms, and I interviewed them towards the end with a number of questions that I could easily transform into data. There was only one rule I set for the program. There is no wrong answer. Learners were highly encouraged to just come forth with any ideas that they had, no matter how silly they thought it sounded. I really strongly emphasize that there is no wrong answer here, and it was a completely safe space for ideas. And I think having that attitude really helped their development, as they weren't scared of saying the wrong thing or giving the wrong answer to a question or an idea. The participants were a mix of races, ethnicities, sexualities, and gender identities. There was not really any kind of common theme running through them, I guess, other than they were passionate about their subject, you know, with a question that is essentially, what are the benefits of offering extra classes? A lot of the results I'd already kind of predicted, but a couple of them I hadn't expected. There was a huge improvement in their devising ability, of course, but there was also an improvement in their writing skill and their choreography. One participant said that the program completely reignited her passion for writing poetry and short scripts, and another participant's attendance to regular classes increased by 60% just because they knew that they had a session with me afterwards. Quite a few of the participants really preferred this style of workshop teaching. They said that they felt a lot more adult in the situation and a lot less babied and pandered to. After watching the final part of the ipsative assessment, it was really clear that 9 out of the 10 participants had vastly improved on their devising ability. And after conducting all the interviews, 7 out of 10 of the participants said that they felt much more comfortable performing solo, as many of them had never actually done it before. But 10 out of 10 of the participants said that the program was a much welcome change to their usual Monday and Tuesday nights spent at home just sitting on their phone or doing homework or doing nothing at all. However, an unfortunate piece of data that came to light during my research was that despite being free, lower income students could still not attend the program because they had other responsibilities such as employment and childcare considerations. So what does it all mean? Well, my conclusions add further weight to the research already undertaken by many other professionals. Extracurricular activities are extremely beneficial for young people, and really anyone. It's always better to be doing something than nothing. Extracurricular activities develop their autonomous thinking skills, their independence, and industry-specific skills, which are transferable to both the workplace and the classroom. I'm sure colleges and schools would love to invest in these kinds of activities, but the funding just isn't there, especially for the arts and especially for further education colleges. The government forgets far too quickly who made the clothes that they're wearing, who painted that £3,000 picture they're about to purchase, who's performing in the operas that they're going to watch. They are robbing average and poorer students of potential prospects by limiting them to the wealthy. And it's a fact that will only come back to haunt our country in the future. And with that note, here's what's under my hat. Welcome to my quarantine hair. You won't believe how long it took for me to sort out this video. This stupid camera. I can't.